Hello, welcome to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz, and I will be guiding you on this journey today. I'm having a really weird time with talking, so we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. That's not abnormal for me, but for some reason, though, it's like kind of right in front of my face somehow. So I don't know. I wonder if you are going through something, either the way that you talk or the words that you use, or even like the difference between the words that are in your head and the words that come out of your mouth, or how it sounds. Yeah, I don't know. Weird. But like I said, that's not an abnormal like experience for me, but anyway, so moving on. Since you're here, I'm assuming that your favorite color, at least one of them, is purple. This is the purple group. And we have two tarot decks here. We have two oracle decks. I love also just the different shades of purple going on in here. But before we actually get to the reading, I wanted to just give a few like themes or words that are associated with the color purple based on, just color psychology. That was like one of my favorite subjects when I was in school for graphic design. Because like at that time, I had no clue that was even a thing. So anyway, purple in color psychology is associated with royalty, luxury, wisdom, spirituality too. Like even, the purple color, we think the upper two chakras, the third eye, and even the crown. Although, like, is the crown indigo? Let's see. It sits between blue and violet. Yeah. So, I mean, looks purple to me. So, yeah, wealth, luxury. It's what I also love too, like just like when I was Googling about the color purple, is the association between blue and, of course, red, right? Because purple is a product of mixing blue and red together. And, even like when we think of the chakras, blue is the throat, red is the root. So that's even interesting, since I opened this by talking about communication and what the hell is like going on with that. But yeah, obviously throat, communication, expression. It's literally the doorway to share what is going on like in your internal world, right? I mean, they do say like the eyes are the windows to the soul, but truly though, we really don't know until somebody tells us, right? So it's interesting that kind of keeps coming through. I mean, we'll see what comes out like in the message, but then red being the root and, grounded, your connection to the present moment, direction, stability. And it could even be something between those two things. And even just, like the color purple making you feel powerful. Just even giving you a feeling of being wrapped in luxury. The spirituality part, of course, as well, like, intuition, higher consciousness. So yeah, let me make sure I didn't really miss anything I wanted to say out loud. Red also is, passion and energy, love. It can be even like intense. There's, we usually like associate anger, which is actually kind of funny because, we associate like red hearts with love and obviously the color red, right? But then we also associate anger with the color red. Like I was seeing red, right? That usually means like you're kind of at like the rage stage. And also like to me, like what I've come to learn about anger is that it's a suppressed emotion. I can't remember exactly like how my friend says it. And what did I just say? A suppressed emotion, or like there is something that is not being fully expressed for whatever reason, whether, there isn't the space or the opportunity to do so, or you're afraid of what somebody's reaction is going to be, or there's a fear of rejection, or, being misunderstood, but it's like it just gets bottled up inside instead of like coming out of the throat, right? Until when it does, there's, kind of an explosion or like a boiling over. And then we're just going to throw in everything, right? And then with blue being about depth and trust, confidence, calming, we think of like the sky, or we think of the ocean, emotions, right? So it's interesting, like the fiery red, the watery blue. Anyway, let's start shuffling these cards because I'm so curious like how this is going to go. So there's going to be 4 sections. We're going to pull tarot cards for each one. We're going to pull a tarot clarifier for each one. And then we're going to pull an oracle card and then an additional oracle card to go with that. Is this okay? Well, I guess this is what we're going to do. I was going to use this deck as a clarifier at first, but we're rolling with it. So the first section is your current energy. We have the Empress. I want my screen to go blank. The second is what is hidden, which can be, interestingly enough, like, what you are potentially avoiding, suppressing, trying to control a bit too much. But it's kind of like, what is the energy behind the scenes? We have the Ace of Cups in the reverse. I don't know if you saw like how that came out too, but it felt like it kind of did like a couple of somersaults like towards me though. So that's interesting. And the third card is what is coming in, like what's shifting, what is transforming. We have the Queen of Wands in the reverse. And I don't shuffle reversals into my decks, but if they come out that way, of course, we honor that. Dang. And the fourth is guidance or advice or embodiment of the energy. What is the guidance or the advice? The Tower. Okay. Beautiful. And let's see. Let me pull the tarot clarifiers first, and then we'll pull the oracle cards. So let's clarify the Empress for our purple baddies. We have the 10 of Pentacles. Okay. And let's clarify the Ace of Cups in the reverse. Interesting. We have the Page of Cups in the reverse. Did you see like how that flipped over too? Interesting. And let's clarify the Queen of Wands in the reverse. The Three of Cups. And then let's clarify the Tower. The Fool, beautiful. Okay. And then, I don't know, let's do this one first for the Oracle card. Joy, I love it. Number 39. And let's clarify that. Crossing bridges. It's time for healing, connecting, mending, and releasing. Okay, let me just kind of make sure that everything is like in here. I especially love this combo here. We'll get to it. But man, am I glad to see the Tower and the Fool card together. But we start with the Empress and the 10 of Pentacles. And, you know, the temperance, that's weird. See what I mean? Though, in part, like it's like what you were going to say is not what comes out of your mouth. Or again, like even how it is like intended, or I know for me, it's like it sounds a certain way in my head. And then when I say it, I'm like, what? That's not how it sounded. Which is like just such a random phenomenon. But it's interesting though, that temperance, like came out of my mouth instead of the Empress. And how close is that? Temperance is about balancing or even mixing, like they're the mixologist of the major arcana, right? Like they're blending together energies. They're like finding the right blend or the right mix for them. So there's like a patience aspect that goes into temperance. There's also, it's like a matter of going through the motions, going through each steps, like not trying to rush through, not trying to avoid something. So I think that's interesting that even came out of my mouth. So that's probably relevant. But the Empress is about expansion, growth, reproduction, nurturing. She's the divine feminine, the energy, not the gender. But it is honoring the feminine side of you that desires care and nurturing and I want to say like being taken care of, but it's like in the sense of feeling stable, feeling like there is a container that can hold you type of thing. It's not just, I mean, it certainly can be. It doesn't, I mean, I don't know. I have like a hard time being like, well, it's not this, it's actually that, because it can be where, I mean, literally you're being fed grapes and, being fanned by like a palm branch or, leaf or whatever, it certainly can be that level of being taken care of, but it's more of like stability and not having to worry about potential issues that come up, or the other thing that is like coming through too is having the capacity that I think most women have, to multitask, to extend emotional support, to literally birth life, right? However, it's wanting to have reciprocity. It's wanting to have your needs be met as well. However that is, because I mean, we do have the 10 of Pentacles here, which is monetary, which is tangible things. This is generational wealth. This is legacy as well. It is family. So with this being in the current energy, wherever you are, in your life, right? Like whoever you are responsible for, whoever you believe that you will one day be responsible for, it's like there is this consideration of how can I ensure my own, I want to say survival, or like, my own stability, but also like doing that in a way that is in alignment with you, because the Empress card to me, like she does take care of herself, and in doing so, she is capable and has the ability to then take care of other people. And I even think that's what like the 10 of Pentacles is as well. Like there is enough for you, which we know also too, like from the 9 of Pentacles, even though like I know that's not out here, but it's ensuring your stability, because your stability is what creates stability for other people. Again, whoever you could be responsible for, whether that's your children, whether that's, an aging parent, whether that's a sibling, whether that's, a spouse or a partner, community, of course, can be in there as well. Like however that looks for you. I also love how on this card, the 7 of Pentacles is up here in the sky. And there are 7 pentacles up here, in the sky, which kind of looks like the sun a little bit. There's a pentacle here, a pentacle down here, a pentacle in that dude's pocket. And they're also like looking up at these 7 pentacles. And the 7 of Pentacles talks about reaping what you've sown. It's planting seeds and the ability for them to grow, and not only grow, but for you to be able to harvest them. And even that is a bit like Empress card too, because it's the ability to reproduce abundance. It's the ability to reproduce opportunity. So it's like the focus right now for you could be, how can I not only ensure my own stability, but also to where it almost like stabilizes itself, or I keep like seeing like copies of things, like reproduction, right? Like it grows on its own. Like it could be a savings account, it could be a 401k, it could be some other investment, it could also even be a job, it can be a side hustle. It's like something that it continues to grow, it continues to work. And not only that, but then there's these other areas of your life that are also taken care of. Like this to me almost feels like not like luxury items, but just extracurriculars over here. I mean, these are kids as well, but it looks like they're like on this boat here. And if there are children involved, if you plan on having children someday, there's a dog here. I mean, if you plan on having animals, or again, whatever the situation is for you. Then there's a pentacle down here at their feet, and we were talking about like the root chakra, which like, and she's even wearing red here, but stability, being grounded, foundation even, and then of course in their pocket, and just having the funds available to you when you need them. And even like with this joy card here, I mentioned it with this combo, but it's like not wanting to like have to be miserable, or like not having to like want to hustle, or that's where the alignment thing comes into play, right? It's like having a job that that you enjoy. It's making money in a way that resonates with you, that you feel good about, that it's in an industry that you feel good about, or it potentially even has something to do with like something that you're passionate about. And even on this joy card, right? It's like this person up here is reaching out their hand to this person who's reaching their hand to this. There are multiple people here that you are considering. And interestingly enough, we have the Ace of Cups and the Page of Cups in like what's hidden, or what's being avoided or suppressed. And the thought that is coming through to me, or the feeling that's coming through to me, is that it's like your intentions, of course, are great. But what is that doing to you? Like if you're making decisions based on what you think is best for other people, strictly, like I'm gonna make this decision to take this job because of the stability that it would provide my family, or the potential that it has to provide stability to my family when I create one, or when I get around to it, or whatever, right? Like just as an example. Because both of these are pretty much Ace of Cups. I mean, we have the Ace of Cups. The Page of Cups is also technically, quote unquote, they're holding the Ace of Cups. And it's like, when we get to the pages, they're just playing. They're just trying things out. There's a lot of like imagination, creativity. They're not really trying to hone in on one particular emotion, or it's just, let me just do this and see how I feel about it. What's also interesting in this page here is that there's this like trading spaces thing happening here where the person is inside the fishbowl and the goldfish is like the head of this, human body. And then we have this envelope here. Which, it feels like there's some sort of message. So it's almost kind of giving Hanged Man energy. It's almost like you need to, okay, this is what's going through my head. That it's like you've kind of like superimposed yourself, or like you've traded spaces with trying to intuit, because cups have to do again with emotions, your intuition, love, your relationship with love as well. Like, how do you give it? But more importantly, how do you receive it? Because I have no doubt that this whole thing is happening because you love these people, right? Like and that you even know that you have the capacity to expand in such a way. And you want to lift people up. Like you want to, show that there is a path, that there is even joy. Because, cups also have to do with joy. But both of these, cups are in the reverse. So there's some sort of disconnect here. And I didn't even really finish my point. But because I mentioned even trading spaces, right? And if you are trying to make these decisions or do the things like, because you're like trying to intuit how that is going to affect other people, hypothetical people, potential people, down the road people, it seems like it's draining. And the other thing that is coming through is, again, like if these choices and these decisions are like, if this goal over here is being based on suppressed or repressed emotions from childhood, from adolescence, from being a teenager, from whatever, then this would also be a great opportunity to heal. It's a time for healing, connecting, mending, and releasing. Down here with the crossing bridges card. It's really just like a matter of like checking in with yourself. Where is it coming? Like, where is this drive coming from? And it's not wrong. It's not incorrect. It's information, really. That's all that it is, and especially if it is something that you recognize that is potentially draining your emotions, that is leaving you with very little like for yourself. Because even if it like looks like you're engaged in self-care and you're taking care of yourself and you're doing you have like the routine for it, or even like intuitively check in with your emotions. And it could even just be that what is causing the emotional exhaustion is that there is an emotion that is being blocked, or an emotion that is being avoided or suppressed. And the energy is available for you to heal that. I always like kind of view those things as like Horcruxes, like in Harry Potter. it's just like our energy gets zapped at different points in our lives, right? Whether that's an emotional experience that we attach an emotional response to, and then that just recreates, it just, reproduces itself throughout our lives. And we see it in the interactions that we have, in the actions that we take, in the lives that we build, right? But then it just kind of comes to a point where it's like, I'm actually, like, I have all this stuff and I have accomplished all these things, but it's just not giving what I thought like it would give. And that's when we kind of come up to, what is the message there? Like, what is trying to be relayed to you, or even communicated to you? Because also too, actually, the fact that the human that's like in this little fishbowl is holding the letter here, it's almost like you, this whole process is like divinely orchestrated to get you to this message, for you to see it. Very interesting, actually. I fucking love that. And if it's something that you are like trying to avoid seeing, I really don't think that you can. And then over here, like what's coming in, or, the shift that's happening, or the transformation, the Queen of Wands in the reverse. And the Three of Cups. For me, like, it's interesting looking at this Queen of Wands, because there's these, I'm not even sure, what that is like supposed to be. Normally, like it looks like, wands are fire, so I don't know if these are like little fire things, or if that's supposed to be like steam or something. I honestly, like, I literally have like no clue. But in the reverse, so it actually looks like they are being birthed out of this thing. Doesn't it? Because then we have the Three of Cups over here. And I love, like, there's three people here. There's, three people on this card. This talks about community and support, network, friendships. This is like very much like finding your people type of thing. But it's also, it's like knowing what those type of people are for you. It's like being surrounded by people, because I was even talking about it up here, is like, it's being surrounded by people who have the container for you. Also interesting is that, in the Ten of Pentacles, we have, it looks like anyway, a heterosexual relationship here, right? And I halfway wonder too, if it's a situation where you thought that the stability and the security that you wanted, or that you want, because we've all been conditioned to this, especially girls. I'm sure boys too. I'm not one, so I don't know, but surprise. But if throughout life it was like, I need to be in partnership with somebody to have the stability and the security, and to be able to build the wealth, and to have a legacy, and to have a family, and like do all of the things, right? And even like I was saying over here, like, this is a good time to kind of check in with your intentions and where your emotions are. And if the effort that you have been putting in is exhausting you, not filling your cup, not making you feel fulfilled, not making you feel loved and accepted and taken care of and cared for, but more exhausted than, anything else. Even, in this joy card, like we can't even really tell the relationship or sex of, these people on this card. But to have the Three of Cups out here, and especially with the Queen of Wands in the reverse, and it literally looks like they are being birthed here, especially being under the Empress card, which is like the mother. This is, it's finding community. It's even, releasing expectations. I always see like the Queen of Wands in the reverse as being a lack of confidence, even a lack of expression, because Queen of Wands upright to me is confident and expressive, which we were talking about like at the beginning of the thing. And even how on the Three of Cups, we have blue and purple and red, like throughout. See, that's why I love tarot. And that's why too, we trust what we say, we trust what we're hearing, we have to trust ourselves. And also like allow, our emotions, our intentions, our, whatever to change with more information. Because if I wouldn't have said any of that shit in the beginning of this reading, which when I first started this channel, I wouldn't have. Because I would have been like, oh, I'm making it about me, or I'm whatever, But I'm not trying to make that fit into the reading. It just does. And how cool is that? Blue, red, purple. Interesting. And then I was saying like over here with the Tower card and the Fool card, bro, this is so amazing. This is like literally blowing your shit up by taking a leap of faith. In a way. I mean, the sun could be coming up. It could be going down. It actually feels like to me it's coming up, and maybe that's just because, confirmation bias or, bias of some kind. But I actually do think that the sun is coming up. The Tower is about upheaval, sudden change, structures crumbling, beliefs changing. But not only this is literally burning a bridge, blowing that shit up. So that's even interesting too, that this card is here between these two. I mean, obviously, like they're walking, in that direction. I mean, they're walking towards this Queen of Wands over here and away from the Tower. But it's Mars, and I believe Mars is in Aries right now, which is the ruler of Aries. So wherever Aries is in your chart, the Empress is ruled by Venus, and that may be in Taurus right now, which is ruled by Venus. Uranus is at its like final degree of Taurus also, which, like that is a planet of also like change, freedom. And, Taurus being about our resources, our stability, the materials that we have access to, money, right? I mean, like there's like this huge shift happening here for you of just even like the honestly, the fairy tale. Man, I remember when I had a tarot reading years and years and years and years and years ago. And she told me that I had a very fairy tale outlook on what I wanted. And I'm like, well, yeah, what? And she was like, well, that's why they're called fairy tales. They're literal stories, right? But then when we are like actually in our existence, in our, practical lives, it looks different. So this Tower here is like whatever this Ace of Cups here is, like whatever is draining, whatever this message is here for you is going to probably be the thing that really almost even sets you free. Because like not only is this tower crumbling, right? Or the belief, the motivation, the whatever, right? That's almost even like kept you contained, but more restricted than cared for or supported, like it's been more of like a cage, versus, a bowl that you can jump out of or whatever, just, I don't know. But then there's this Fool card. Again, it's a leap of faith. Even like, look at this dog just yeeting itself, like just going for it. And it like, they're not even, they've already taken the leap. It just feels like YOLO, like truly you only live once. And it's taking a calculated risk. This is also actually Uranus. Ha! I love that, actually. And interestingly enough, Mars and Uranus are going to have a conjunction on like July 4th. I think it's like between June 29th and July 4th. So who knows? Like maybe this will happen. Like maybe this is something that will kind of unfold for you over the next couple months. And that will be in Gemini, wherever Gemini is for you. That's actually going to be right on top of my natal Mars in Gemini. So I have no idea what to actually expect with that. But it's going to be like a Mars sandwich with like Uranus in the middle. So what does that look like? I don't know. But anyway, yeah. Very, very fucking cool, dude. And even this Joy card, it's with this Three of Cups out here. It's, it's like connecting to people who like they have the same goals and aspirations, outlook on, the future. They want to build the same things, or they want to have the same, stability. It's like instead of relying on one person who, let's also just consider here that the woman in this card is not holding a pentacle. We're not doing that anymore in 2026. Why is a pentacle in the man's pocket? Why is a pentacle on the ground? Why does she have no pentacles? This is like, like taking your power back. And again, it's like finding community that you connect with. It's, it's not necessarily like you have to like drop all the people in your life or whatever. It's more of like dropping a fairy tale. You don't even have to bring anybody like with you, really. Like just do it. And whoever is meant to will come to, or you'll meet people along the way that you guys are all heading in the same direction. You link up, take the leap. Whatever that leap looks like for you. I mean, it doesn't have to be a super dramatic thing. It can literally just be a shift in your mindset. or in your, again, intentions or your expectation, whatever, right? This is beautiful. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I will talk to you soon. Bye.